brought a little bit of France to Connecticut. I'd like to welcome Chris and Denise Salafia. Thank you so much. We're going to talk about Lavender Pond Farm, which is located in Killingworth. Who gets the great idea to say, hey, let's put 9,000 lavender plants in the ground and have a lavender farm? Whose idea was this?
I think it was a group effort to come up with what we were going to do. You know, we moved to the property and it
So you go out on the back 40 and you go, let's not grow crops, let's grow lavender. Is that what happened?
Well, it's our front yard and I wanted it to be pretty.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to be able to enjoy our front yard and not have, you know, pigs or tomatoes.
Because it was a farm. Let's talk about the history of the
Sure.
farm. What was the history of this farm?
So we were lifelong. We've been in Killingworth for since 2000, so almost 14 years. And I had a beautiful 2-acre plot. And Denise always kind of, she's a shopper. She likes to look around and always see what comes on the market. And there had been a property in town that had been on the market for a couple of years, and it had had a price drop, and we went for it. And we made an offer, and the offer was accepted, and it was a 25-acre parcel. And we looked at it, and we knew we wanted to do something, but we weren't sure what. And we had Denise had luck growing lavender on a much smaller scale.
Oh, so you'd had experience
at our
with
original
this.
house.
We did. I had grown a lot of lavender and had put gardens all around our other property and really loved the plant, and deer don't love it. So we thought it would be good.
So you say to him, let's do a lavender farm, and you then say, okay, and then you just start planting 9,000 plants?
Well, we knew and we love Killingworth. I mean, it's a fantastic rural, rustic town. And there are, one of the things we knew we wanted to do, we wanted to pursue a farmland designation for the property. Quite honestly, there's a tax incentive. Connecticut is very generous to Connecticut farmers. So we knew the property had originally been a cattle farm in its earliest days, and then it had lost its farmland designation and moved to residential. So we knew we wanted to get back to farming. I didn't want to, you know, no offense to doing cattle or dairy or pig farming, but it wasn't going to be for us. And we had these massive fields in the front. I mean, there's 10-acre fields on each side of the house. So it's like the largest front lawn you've ever seen. So again, with Denise's experience with lavender, lavender is an awesome plant. And the nice thing about it is it thrives in less than ideal soil.
Well, this winter has been special.
Certainly less than ideal.
It has.
So how do you map it out? Let's start looking at some of the pictures of your farm. It is magnificent, and it's going to open, so this is a lavender plant, it's going to open this spring.
Correct.
So how do you start planting? How do you figure this out? Do you call up a lavender farmer? Do you call up France? I mean, how do you learn how to do this? This is your dog.
Yes, that's Flora.
That's Flora, aptly named.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
So that's part of the story. Here's some of the lavender products that you're making, sachets, and we're going to get into some of those in a second. This is you with the sewing machine.
Yes.
Just cranking this stuff out.
Myself and my cousin Susie. Yes. So
Get the family involved.
Yes.
For sure.
I love that. Now this is a drone shot of your farm. It's beautifully laid out. Okay, how'd you do it?
Well, one of the things was we didn't want to have, didn't want it to look commercial. We didn't want to have just rows of lavender like rows of corn. We wanted to, like you mentioned, a little taste of Provence in Killingworth. So Denise, you know, Denise's past life, she was she owned a large dance studio in town. So she's always had that creative, artistic thing. She took time off to raise our children, and this was kind of her act too. So
I say it was my Miss Rumphius opportunity.
Oh, I get that. Okay.
So,
and you have 2 little boys.
We have 2 little boys, and we love the storybook Miss Rumphius. And when we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do, it just kind of hit me. You know,
evolved,
it's our Miss Rumphius opportunity. We can make it beautiful, and people can come and walk through and
So you're
enjoy.
inviting the public to come as
sure.
soon as this puppy opens up in the
Once it dries out,
springtime.
Yeah.
You're going to plan to do weddings in lavender fields?
We hope so. I mean,
down the road somewhere?
Down the road, yes. I think there's still some more planting I want to do. 9,000, I guess, isn't enough
Why
for me.
stop now?
You know, so there's another whole field that I want to put in on the other side, and so eventually I think it would be beautiful.
Yeah. All right, so you get the backhoes, you get the diggers, you start planting.
All of the above.
How long did it take you to plant this?
We closed on the property in February. We moved in March, I guess, and
yeah.
we started planting in June. And
The second week of June. We broke ground the second week of June.
And literally every day with a team of guys, we partnered up with a local nurseryman to kind of as our shepherd or our Yoda, as we like to call him, and really just literally every day out in the fields, tilling the soil. The nice thing with lavender is it's a hardy plant, but it doesn't love water. So what we actually did was we raised the beds. We mixed our own soil, so it's not just topsoil. We had to mix in some sand and some other kind of what we call Lavender Pond Farm special sauce to make sure that there was good drainage, because if you don't get good drainage, your plants will die.
Do you have any background in farming, either one of you?
No.
We are greenhorns.
We are new to this, but really excited, and it's been a learning experience for our whole family. So it's been great.
It's beautiful because you're on a historic piece of land and you're repurposing it, and it's going to be gorgeous. Along with the farm, you're making all kinds of stuff. So what are we making, Chris?
Well, the beauty of lavender is, there's an expression, the whole cow. What I love most about lavender is not just the plant. I mean, it is a beautiful, sweet plant, but you can literally use the term repurpose. You can use the entire plant. Once that lavender blooms, it pushes off these beautiful kind of purple flowers, and you harvest what's called the spikes, you're left with these great little buds. And the buds can just literally, like you rub your fingers together and the buds flake off. The buds form the basis for the pillows that my wife made.
So these are sachets.
Yeah, sachets and
You've got all
pillows.
kinds of these coming.
Yes, yeah.
It is so fragrant.
It's amazing.
It's beautiful. Now we've got lotions coming. We've got hand lotions. We've got lip balm.
Yes.
What else?
So there's a little of everything. We've got soaps, we have pillow inserts, we have dog bed inserts, eye pillows that you can put in the microwave and heat up and use it as a heating pad wherever you want it. Body wraps that work the same way, that are really large enough to wrap around your shoulders or around your lower back, and decorative pillows and all, just you name it, all kinds of
beautiful.
And one of the things I'm most proud of is we're not just slapping labels on stuff. I mean, this is everything that we're doing. We're trying to do pure and doing it the right way. So the stuff is hand sewn in our farm, and we'll be harvesting 9,000 plants. Is going to give off not only a lovely aroma, but quite a bit of sachets and bundles and things, so people can come to the farm, buy the plants, buy product from us. We hope to have what they call U-Pick, where you and your family can come onto our fields and literally we'll get some clipping shears in our store and walk out on the farms and clip your own lavender. I mean, how great would that be to take your own lavender home that you picked and bring to your own home? Bring your own little piece of Killingworth back to your own home.
Ever in your wildest imagination would you know that you're going to have a lavender farm? I mean, what did you think you were going to be when you grew up?
You know, it's one of those things. It's kind of I call it the perfect storm of a lot of different things. Like I said, I was fortunate enough. I still have a day job. I own a software company in Madison, and I have such a great team that they were fortunate enough to kind of support me through the summer. And I say, rather than riding a desk, I rode a tractor for a summer. And it was a nice break for me. But to allow Denise to kind of have her Miss Rumphius moment, or her Act 2, and allow her to kind of move forward. She had lost both her parents in the span of a year, so it really allowed her to kind of, I think, reestablish her sense of self and get out in the fields and really try to involve our family in the whole process. It's been wonderful, it really has.
So this is a labor of love for you.
It really is.
It has to be.
It is, and you know, we're out there all the time. But as he said, you know, with both of my parents, when my mother was in hospice, I would read Miss Rumphius to her, and then talk to her about all the wonderful things that she had done throughout her life to make the world a more beautiful place. So again, as we were trying to figure out what we were going to do, you know, blueberries or whatever, going back and forth, it hit me, and it's not lupins like in Miss Rumphius, but it was our Miss Rumphius moment to make the world a more beautiful place.
That book, my oldest daughter and I read it over and over and over.
Yeah.
So
Once you know it, you'll love it.
You get it.
Yes, I get it. Have you talked to other lavender farmers in Connecticut? Are there any others?
There are a couple of other smaller farms. There's you know, that are combined with other things. So a cattle farm, and they have lavender too. So there are some smaller farms around, and there's a lovely farm in Long Island, Lavender by the Bay, and that's beautiful.
But you're doing your own thing.
We're doing our own thing. We're a little different.
Are you even old enough to troubleshoot this yet? You're just kind of day by day, and here we go.
That's it. It's exactly right. I mean, I think what it falls back to is we're trying to make it, our family's very involved in this, and we're just trying to do everything the right way, to make it pure. And we'll see what the spring will bring. I honestly don't know. Right now, I know those plants are sleeping. The rain in December was not good. Snow is fine. They'll sleep through the winter.
It's a nice blanket.
Have you dug under the snow to make sure they're still there?
No, we're leaving them under their blanket and, just waiting for it to melt.
What do you think in 5-10 years? Can you project that far into the future?
See, it's interesting because I would say I can. I see this as a blank palette for us to do whatever we want, and it has the potential. The property has, when we looked at the property, and before we knew what we were even going to do, we knew that it had great bones. There's beautiful barns and outbuildings, and there's all kinds of, like I said, there's all kinds of things you can do with lavender. So it has the potential, I think, to scale as big as we want.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things we want to do is not become victims of our own success. We want to take it in bite-sized pieces and enjoy it, because that was the thing. We didn't do this this isn't a for-profit, try to make as much money as we can and get in, get out. This is something hopefully that our children will inherit someday.
Well, it sounds to me like it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
For you.
It is. And I really want it to be an oasis where people can come and just walk through the fields. And I was really pretty particular about laying out the beds to make sure that it didn't have a commercial feel at all, and that you could just, stroll through the fields and the wide pathways in between, and just different vistas from where you're standing.
Did your mom know you were going to do this?
She had no idea. No.
So this is a gift to her and a gift to your family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully
Absolutely.
to the whole
To everybody,
state of
everybody wants
Connecticut.
to come.
That's the point. I think going into this, we had a few key precepts. One was we wanted it to be a family affair. Our kids are out picking up rocks, and they're selling at the Connecticut Flower Show over the weekend. Mm-hmm. But also that we didn't want it to just be this private oasis. We wanted to bring people in and enjoy it. I mean, it's an amazing plant, and it should be an amazing experience where hopefully anybody in the state or in the area can come and kind of visit and
Well, thank you for bringing France to Connecticut, and I will be one of your first visitors because I've been watching and seeing what you've been doing on Facebook and Twitter and everything else. So congratulations, both of you.
Thank you so much.
Chris and Denise Salafia and Lavender Pond Farm. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
When one listen, who is this girl? Spend all night kissing, and the bump is right here. Then who else is missing? Got a little sidetracked if I'm so wishing I could find the keys to the door, but it's also a metaphor. Things keep locked in the grocery store of a mind. Just to save time, skip right ahead to the last ride. The harder we look, the less we can see. Don't you know that you need me?